It's sufficient. You got the reverb on again?
Did you guys hear it?
Yeah.
It's such a long reverb.
Leave it.
From Rixie, this is Debuff, and I'm your host, Steve Skeels.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Let's just get
Let's
into
get into it.
Let's get into it. Hey.
Let me start a timer. Let's get
I'm
into
not
it.
I'm not trying to go over an hour, dude. I already don't want to do this.
Shut the fuck up.
There's a flash flood watch, dude. I can't be here for too long. I won't be able to get home.
Welcome back to Buff.
These buffs.
What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you, Al?
Good, man.
I'm chilling.
What's going on in the gaming world?
I don't know. I feel like not that much that's really going on, but I did.
All right, well, this episode's over.
All right, see ya.
I did want to start because I meant to say it last week, and before I forget,
Bro, why didn't you say it?
You're gonna say your fucking Final Fantasy stick?
No, dude. Sean, we can talk about that later. But I wanted to talk about how I got someone tried to scam me on Discord.
Oh, that's lit.
I thought it would be like kind of a fun little story time opener. So I'm just trying to pull up because I didn't think about it till we almost sat down.
You said on Discord?
On Discord. Shit. So,
well, okay. Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah, I mean, so basically what happened was...
See, what happened was...
this random user messaged me. I'd never talked to him, and I don't really use Discord that much other than, like, I got a couple of, like, group chats with friends, and then I also, am in some, like, Discord servers for, like, games and anime that I like. Well, not really anime. There's a couple, like, manga.
Was he like, yo, have you heard of Herbalife?
No, so he didn't say that. I think that was coming, but I stopped answering him. He says, hey, ? Are you there? Is this your Steam account? And he sends me a link to my Steam profile.
Eesh.
So I was like, hi, yes, this is my account. Why? Because I was kind of like, what the fuck? And when I clicked on his username, the only server we had in common was for Tower of God, which is a Korean comic I read. And he's like, okay, because I accidentally reported that account for doing an illegal purchase on Steam, which I know it's a mistake. I accidentally reported that account instead of someone, which the Valve admin said that your account will be permanent ban. So not only was his grammar like not good,
Yep.
but I was just like, you reported me for accidentally doing an illegal purchase, which in my mind immediately I'm like, Steam should be able to tell. I mean, what even is an illegal purchase? I was using a stolen credit card or like what?
Yeah.
So I have no idea what he's talking about. So immediately I like Google, I like copy and paste what he said into Google, and there's like a million posts that come up of this happening to people.
Phishing scam.
So I just, what do? I go and first thing is I try and message, I like put in a ticket to Steam just to verify, because I didn't want him to like then report me if I never responded, which would be like a dick move, but I could see someone trying to do something. So I put it in and was just like, just wanted to check that this isn't true and that he's, if he reports me, I want to say up front that he messaged me. I'm sure he's trying to get my shit. I searched for scams like this and I see it's common. And Steam's like, yeah, there's no such thing as like an accidental report. They can't do this. No illegal purchases. There's nothing that's been put on your account. So we suggest you, block them and go to Discord because we can't do anything. I'm like, yeah, I figured, but just trying to protect myself. And I did message Discord, and they were kind of ridiculous. They said, we want to confirm they got your message. They're currently experiencing increased volumes. If you feel someone's in immediate danger, please contact the proper authorities. And then they said, hey, we apologize for delay. Currently experiencing increased volumes, blah, blah. Use moderation tools. Block the user. Contact a server admin to intervene as a first line of defense. Admins are responsible for ensuing server accounts, blah, blah. Basically, they told me that they didn't have time to get back to me, and if I needed to escalate it, that I should message again and be like, this is a problem. So I just blocked him and let it go. But I just thought it was funny because for a split second, I was like, God, man, this seems weird. I don't know how he has my account. But then because I was like kind of panicked at first.
Yeah.
Like I thought like he had my account and he was like, I'm breaking in. So I immediately changed my password.
The thing is that I guarantee, because I do too, have your Steam account linked in Discord.
Yeah, I know.
That's
what
how
I'm
we
saying.
got it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like, I'm sure he just saw, he was picking people off the one server I have with him and just grabbed it. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I need to
scam?
So that's what I wanted to say is I got through this, but I did look up and a lot of people were saying that they fell for it. And what happens is he says he accidentally reports you. And what he does is he says, this is the server admin's Discord, or not the server, the Steam admin's Discord account. You need to message him and tell him that you didn't do the illegal purchase to save your account because you're going to get permanent ban. So what they do is they tell you that you go message this other user on Discord, and that user asks for your account information. And then you give it back, and then they either do some shit where I've seen some people basically act like they were holding it for ransom, and they're like, give us however much money and, gift cards or whatever, or we won't get your account back. Or if there's anything in your account, because Steam has like cards you can trade and things, like they might try to do that, or gift people games if your payment is tied to your account. Stuff like that, but it mostly seemed like it was like a ransom thing where they would have tried to get me to give my shit, and since it's a Discord user and not actually a Steam admin, Steam wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
Nope, I'm sorry. That was something I wanted to talk about. I didn't mean to push play. Anyway, go ahead.
But I did see in some cases people were like, if you just don't give them money and contact Steam, like if you have the original email or whatever that you signed up with, they should be able to help. So PSA, if you have someone try to come and take your shit,
don't
respond. But I just feel like something like that hasn't happened to me or anyone I know in a long time, and I'm not stupid enough to fall for it. I feel bad for people that just panic and don't think about it, because some of what I saw was like my kid fell for it because he was playing games and someone messaged him, and like a kid, they wouldn't know.
Sucks.
So
I'm glad you didn't fall for it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he was asking for it, I was like, this seems a little sus.
Yeah, this is.
There might be an imposter among us. So
in the
Discord,
what?
But it was pretty weak. So
yeah,
just thought it'd be a little fun little story time. So
I'm glad you came out of it unscathed. Losing your Steam account is pretty detrimental.
Well,
yeah.
That's one thing that's been
a lot of money
scary.
you spend there, and you can't get those games ever again.
Yeah, and like I know that's one thing that people don't enjoy about Steam. Like GOG has DRM free stuff where you save the
actual executable.
Yeah, and then you just have it forever. Steam, I was always kind of like, that's never going to happen to me. I mean, I have 2-factor authentication set up, so it's like unlikely that someone would be able to do it. But after, and I don't want to talk about it anymore or give the thing, but after playing so much Final Fantasy, I was like, recently I've been doing this, and if you play it on your Steam account, if you download the Steam launcher, you can't go download Square Enix's launcher and use your account. They're separate. It doesn't make any sense. There's like a Windows version and a Steam version, which obviously is also Windows. I don't really get it. I think it's because Steam wants you to be locked in to buy future stuff through them.
Steam, yeah.
Because I can download the game on PlayStation and log into my same account on PlayStation, and it's fine. But anyways, I was like, man, I've put in like a lot of time into this recently, and if it goes away, I'm probably not going to play anymore, and all my friends will continue. So I got a little scared, and I wasn't going to do anything stupid.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
No, it's all right. I knew it was bad right away. I just said screw it. So
I had kind of like a thought experiment the other day, and I wanted to ask you guys about it. And if this is ridiculous and stupid, just tell me.
Yeah, man.
I was on DoorDash, and it was like, you know how they like recommend you like, oh well, like this is popular in your area, and they'll like give you like a food item. It was like McDonald's is popular in your area, and it was like how about you try the double quarter pounder? And I was like, that name is so stupid.
Yeah.
Double quarter pounder, yeah, it's half pound.
It's just a half pound.
But
Half pounder, but it sounds less if you say double quarter pounder. I think that's really what it is.
I just like,
It sounds like more if you say double quarter pounder.
No, I think it sounds like less.
it sounds like
I
you're
feel
not
like
as
you
fat.
say. I feel like if you say a half pound burger, it seems like a lot. But you say double quarter pounder, and you're kind of like, yeah, it's quarter pound, doubled.
So
It's
I would
just-
say two things. I could see that, but I feel like in my mind the like double makes it sound like a lot. And it's I get that all the real reason is marketing because the quarter pounder was the name, and they're like
Yeah.
just the double version,
Just make it two.
2 patties.
Yeah. I mean, there are 2 quarter pound patties.
Yeah.
So
But-
it's a double quarter.
Yeah.
Pounder.
And if they say a half pounder, like I just feel like that sounds a little bit silly to be like, we got a quarter pounder and a half pounder.
Just,
Um,
I
And
just
a whole
like,
pounder.
well,
but-
the thing is if you get 2 of them, you're eating a pound of meat.
Yeah. I mean,
Can I get 2 double quarter pounders?
Could I just
Sir,
get
you just
a fucking pounder?
you could just go and buy a pound of meat at the store.
So, one thing is that same as I guess if you buy from the store, but it is quarter pound before they cook it, so it like shrinks,
Oh,
and loses
yeah.
water or whatever. But
Have you ever had a double quarter pounder?
no, I recently
is
tried a quarter pounder for the first
So
time though.
big. It is
Yeah.
so like you're like I need to like go
It's
exercise.
half a pound, dude.
It's so much like it's horrible.
So normally I don't really eat that much from McDonald's, and I'll get like I like the McDoubles, but
Yeah, gotta
there's
do
always
McDoubles.
a deal on the app for like buy one McDouble get one free, and I'll do that, and then I'm like that's just like a lot of bread and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
just feel like it's a lot. So recently I tried a quarter pounder for the first time, like the other week. I mean, it was good, I guess.
Dude,
but
the
like,
quarter pounder is a good sandwich.
I just, I don't. I mean, I gotta be honest. I don't really like mustard or pickles, so I didn't get those. But
Bro, you're fucking up.
I know. But either way, I it was decent.
I like McDonald's is always like I only order it in 2 scenarios. One, I'm like on the way home from work at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to eat. I am like just want to get home. Like I want to put something in my stomach so I don't like wake up with a headache. Or it's like there's nothing else and I have like 5 minutes. Otherwise though, dude, I really fucking hate McDonald's.
Yeah,
Like
we all do.
it makes me so like sick.
Yeah,
to
it's
my
like a
stomach.
rock in
It
your
really
tummy,
fucks
dude.
my stomach up.
Like immediately,
The
I'm mad.
Go ahead.
I do want to say, I'm sorry, but before we go on to this, because I know this will be a whole thing, I just want to throw out there that was it Burger King tried to do a 3rd pound burger, and it was way less popular because people saw 3 and thought it was less than a quarter pound, and so
I don't remember.
people
I
were
don't
like,
remember
"Why would I
this.
get that?" I don't know if that's like entirely
it
true,
a
but it's like
triple
an
patty?
urban myth. No, it's just a 3rd pound instead
A
of
third
a quarter
of a pound?
instead of a quarter of a pound.
Oh,
So
Which a
is
double
more.
quarter pounder is more than both
Yeah,
of them.
yes, but I'm just saying, like, there was a thing I remember hearing where like that didn't do
Dude.
well, and they don't have it anymore. They were trying.
I've never
to,
heard that.
They were trying to directly compete with the quarter pounder as a name, so they had like some 3rd pound burger, and it died.
I never
But
heard that.
Anyways, I just wanted to say you might be right about them. It could just be like a math thing that people don't get. So
Maybe they tested it in like focus groups. They must have, because in their defense, double quarter pounder has a ring to it. A half pounder,
yeah, no, I
It-
know that's what I'm saying. Like
it
it sounds
feels like a
stupid.
challenge.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like an eating challenge when you go to like a cheeseburger place
Yeah,
and they're like,
half
we got a
pound.
burger the size of a car and you're gonna eat it, and it's like,
Yeah.
a double quarter pounder is like that's something I could still eat for lunch, but it's
Yeah.
like you really shouldn't ever eat it.
Yeah, I did not get the 2. I got like 1 and then a little side. So, but
That's good. What did you say? What did you have something to say about the DQP?
well,
No, I mean, I
So-
still stand by what I said. It sounds like less than half a pound when
Yeah,
you say double
it totally
quarter pounder,
does.
which I feel like makes it more appetizing. But
it sounds the same to me. But
I understand the logic.
I know.
But if there are people who think that
Yeah,
third of a pound is less than
I know. That's why I brought it up because I wanted to.
Well, that's
I was
the
thinking
market.
about that. I'm like, I
They're
want to
not
justify. But so the other thing is, yeah, McDonald's is kind of terrible. I understand that. That's what we were getting at.
I mean, that's a controversial topic, but that's maybe for another day.
They have a manufactured taste that every once in a while I crave, but other than that,
of course.
I will say their hot mustard is good.
Oh yeah, yes.
That hot mustard.
The thing is though,
good.
is you got to really pronunciate because they'll give you honey mustard if you don't say it. You got to say hot mustard. And they'll be like, they'll give you 2 honey mustard. Before we leave the fast food in the dust for whatever you're going to show me, just so we can keep this all in one clip. I think Maddie and I are like slowly like giving up certain fast food places.
If you guys give up Chick-fil-A, I'll be so happy.
Dude, so here's the thing. Just to give you some
Chick-fil-A, we've talked about,
context.
it rocks us.
Dude, so we have, ever since we met, we have loved Chick-fil-A. Like, she really liked it in high school. I really liked it in high school. And she put me on to the spicy sandwich. I always used to get the original.
That same thing happened with me and Danielle.
She put me on to the spicy.
Yeah,
and
that's
I was
what happened
like,
with me and Danielle.
I
It wasn't
fuck with
me?
Spicy.
No.
And, unfortunately, we had it a few days ago, and like, dude, it's just so hard on my stomach.
Dude, it fucked
Yes,
me up.
dude. Are you joking?
It's for me. It's like alcohol. Like it's not really worth it anymore.
No,
Dude, I shit my fucking brains
Dude,
out.
it like I'm in
Every
the bathroom
single
like
time.
every hour, like for like 18 hours.
Every time I go, I'm like, should I just get one of their like cool wraps, which are like kind of mid, but I don't want to rock myself.
Why? Kind of mid. Why does it do that? What is
I
it?
can't figure it out because I feel like I ate Popeyes.
It doesn't hurt
once.
me as bad.
It doesn't. I had no problem. It's either got to be what they're frying it in, some sort of fry oil.
I think they use peanut oil. I'm gonna Google it. Why does
It's not just us.
Chick-fil-A
There's a guy at work that was like, I cannot go there. And like
mess up my stomach?
every time they bring it in for work, sometimes they'll be like, oh, free sandwiches or whatever. He'll like grab the one that's for him and then just take it home and see if his son wants to eat it later.
It's so funny that he does that, dude. That's.
I mean, it's free,
such
like,
a,
right?
yeah,
Like
that's
whatever.
such a
but-
good fucking like dad move.
Yeah, it's just so funny because he's like, I don't want it.
So people are saying it could be the peanut oil. It could be a gluten sensitivity. It also could be an allergy to MSG.
I feel like I don't have any of those would bother me because I get those elsewhere. Like,
People also ask, is Chick-fil-A unhealthy?
I mean,
Uh,
fried chicken and bread isn't like great for you, but
Yeah.
But the thing is, dude, I had peanuts like the other day.
yeah, I that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand. I can't get the spicy one anymore because it's worse. I mean, we haven't been to Chick-fil-A in a little. I think you
I'm
guys
gonna
did
type
go the
in
other day, but
Chick-fil-A
I haven't been in a minute.
diarrhea.
Okay, that's gonna be good.
Yo,
What I think is
yo,
search-
clip that, dude.
Search by image.
what I think is funny is people always the joke is that Taco Bell makes people like shit their brains out, but honestly, it does not rock me nearly as hard as Chick-fil-A does.
I have 2 things to say about that. I feel like Taco Bell used to do that to me, but I think I was eating a lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Now, if I go there, like maybe I have a stomach ache, but it's not as bad as it was. I used to go there like every other day when I worked at fucking Sears. So
People are saying
I go, like, once
it
a
might be reacting to too much fat. So the sandwiches are high in fat.
Okay.
Here's something that I'm curious about. Why is this something that like we as people and like as a society, why is it something that we've just like gone along with? Because like ever since I've eaten Chick-fil-A, it's pretty much fucked up my stomach.
I mean,
Taco Bell as well, and like
look, for one, it definitely does not happen to everybody. Like that's one thing
think
that you have
so?
to
'Cause,
realize.
dude,
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Well, Danielle gets grilled chicken nuggets, so that
Can't be quite
garbage
as bad
anyway.
as the.
Maddie and I are this like we literally like meet halfway in the house and we're like we're never eating Chick-fil-A again, and then like 2 weeks later we're like I really would do want Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were like stans for a long time. We were
Yeah.
talking about how it rocked us before I heard this story.
And I know this is I think a part of growing older is like you're just like I don't really want to spend my life like in the bathroom. I know that's ridiculous, but like I would rather eat something better for me than like feel like shitty.
Yeah, I mean, it just straight up will like make my stomach hurt for
yeah,
like hours.
It's just
dude, it goes like immediate pain.
Yeah,
Like,
right
after you.
Yeah.
Like right after you consume it. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, Domino's is kind of the same way for me too.
Domino's doesn't do it for me.
I don't love Domino's.
Dude, I
anymore,
might
though.
have a gluten thing, or I know I recently have kind of like self-diagnosed, which I don't recommend, like lactose intolerance.
Maybe you should just become more tolerant.
I need to go get I need to go to the doctor and they give you like the pricks of all the things.
Allergy test.
Dude,
Have you guys ever done
yes,
that?
Sean
dude.
did. I did not.
yes.
Are you
and
allergic to
I
anything?
cried. I'm allergic to like everything outside. I'm not allergic to any foods. But
Yeah,
they
the
did my
foods.
whole arm.
Yeah,
and
dude.
it tickles at first.
Uh-huh.
You get like a fourth of the way up your arm, and it hurts like fuck. And then they do the whole other arm, and yeah, dude, it's one of. I used to go
seems
get
so
allergy
archaic.
shots. Like, I mean, yeah, they literally prick you with things that you could potentially be allergic to. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you
so
were,
stupid.
I know, but I mean, it makes sense. Like,
You were
it's a smart
young.
way to do it.
and Mom did it too, right?
Mom had to get it on her back, so like they did it to both of her arms and her back. And I mean, I cried like a
So
bitch.
you're just allergic to like grass or
pretty much
like
anything
dust.
that's green. I'm allergic to.
Yeah.
And animals.
Animals, cats, and dogs. I'm allergic to both. Cats, I feel like I don't bother me unless I like pet them and immediately rub my eye with hair.
Yeah, I
on
mean, we
my,
have 4 cats, so, you know.
yeah, but
Hella cats.
Hella cats.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the conclusion to the story is that, you know, we're probably going to try and not eat it like definitely as often, if ever. Like maybe once a month, maybe once every couple months. It's just the problem is there's these products are so addictive that you like forget that you made a pact with yourself not to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, I was trying for a while, and I go, like, I've rotated what my place was, but for a long time now, it's been like the late night, I need to get something to eat because I didn't
Yeah.
eat dinner is Taco Bell, and that's like once a week for me, and I need to stop.
And dude, I honestly, that's the only one I've kept to is I don't think I've eaten Taco Bell in almost a year.
I prefer
Because my stomach, it's like as soon as I'm done eating, I have like movement, and I'm like, I gotta
See?
rock, and so I stopped eating it.
doesn't really happen to me. We don't need to get into
I
too
probably
much
need to
detail
go
on that,
like
but
get a physical about.
no,
gluten
I
or
just think
something.
it's all bad shit for you, and you know.
Yeah. Well, double quarter pounder, should just call it the half pounder, and don't eat Chick-fil-A if you have a
Any
sensitive
sort
stomach.
of yeah.
So, end of clip. Goodbye.
So I had something to talk about, Mason. You might have seen it. Steve, I know you're not on Twitter as much as me or Mason.
As much.
I haven't
Like,
been on Twitter in a
hardly.
few days, so I don't know what I'm
Sean's-
looking at.
I thought you were favorited a tweet of mine today, but that's okay.
I think I looked at it for a second, but you know,
So the thing that happened today, it was rather yesterday, August 15th. This woman made a TikTok and then posted it on Twitter and said all video games need an easy mode. And people have been ripping her a new asshole. The video has 1.3 million views on Twitter. She's made it so only people that she follows or mentions can reply to the tweet. There are 10.6 thousand retweets, 11.1 thousand quote retweets, 42.5 thousand.
is it something we should watch, or
Likes.
is this a discussion point?
We can watch it if you want to just clip it out or
Just
mute
just
it. and-
show, yeah, show it.
So
right.
I have some things to say about it, and I'll say it afterwards. But
Yeah,
this
just
is-
put it right
I
here.
got some things to say.
Put it right here,
So-
and I'll put it on screen because otherwise it's gonna be reverb to shit.
yeah.
Sheesh.
All video games need easy modes. I'm gonna explain. But first, if you're one of those, you're not a real gamer if you play games on easy mode people, you can scoot right along there, Buster. Cause listen, I love video games. I'm also very bad at video games. But I am a big kid with a big kid job and responsibilities like car payments, and I don't have time to be good at video games. Side note, we are not hating on people that make video games a priority. If being good at video games is one of your priorities, what an excellent way to spend your downtime. I am flabbergasted by your skills. It's just not one of my priorities. I have many skills in this life, but beating Hollow Knight mini bosses is not one of them. I don't want a challenge. Life is hard enough. I want a cool interactive story. And what happens is I get frustrated on a fight I can't beat, and I end up giving up, and I lose out on so much cool story. Video game creators, this is my plea to you. // on with the story. Easy modes, please. Thank you.
So she's super cringe, but
I mean, yeah,
but
absolutely.
she brings up a
the
good
thing
point.
is, like, people were like, white girls calling me Buster, like, fuck off. You know, I think she has a point. Like, video games, a lot of them are accessible, but games like Dark Souls, man, like, I want to know more about that game, but I'm so bad at it that, like, I know
It's
I just need to
daunting.
get good, right? Like,
yeah.
and that's what people keep quoting her saying, just like, get good. Like, and it frustrates me because people are ripping her a new asshole. She has some good points. I think she went about it in a pretty cringy way, as you said. And, you know, that's her content, and that's fine. I don't judge her for the way she's making her TikToks or whatever. But, you know, like, Danielle, and I feel like I bring it back to this, is like, she's a fairly new video game player. And she does not like when games are super hard.
You good?
Like,
You have a bulb.
yeah, like a burp that's just like stuck.
Indigest.
She likes video games and she likes to play them. She likes when there's a easy or story mode or creative mode. She played a lot. No, she played survival mode peaceful in Minecraft. But you know, I think it's tough for people who haven't played video games. Like, just imagine someone who's like 30, right? Who hasn't played video games in a decade. To just get used to the controls is hard enough, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with what she's saying. I think a lot of developers or games should put those in, but also leave hardcore modes or whatever, like Dark Souls. If Dark Souls had like a easier mode, I feel like I might be more enticed to play that game when I know the point of it is that it's supposed to be hard, and
Yeah.
maybe I play it through once, I liked it a lot, let me try the hard mode now, right? But I think she's getting a lot of shit for it that is kind of undeserved. 1.3 million views in a day on Twitter is
It's good.
a lot. Like,
Yeah, it's really good number.
It could be bad though.
well, I mean, it's a good, like, that's a good amount of views.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have like mixed feelings about it because, like, I do enjoy when a game is difficult. Like Forza, I've still been playing that. And I've gradually just increased the difficulty because it will pop up and say, hey, you're winning really easily. Do you want to bump it up a step?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And I think that I appreciate that a lot because I started off on easy. Now I'm like above average or whatever they call it. It's not easy and it's not regular. It's like,
So you're on like medium mode?
yeah, maybe medium. But that game did a really good job of like increasing the difficulty by prompting you. And you can just say, no, I want to keep winning, right? But I was like, I like to be challenged a little bit. I think that's fun, but I'm getting better at this game, so I should increase the difficulty. And obviously developers do whatever you want with your game, but I do think that you are losing out on some
Like
potential
opportunity,
potential customers to play your game if you're locking them out. Because I borrowed your Dark Souls game, I bought Bloodborne. I fucking suck at those games, dude. Like, I'm not good. And I know you
They're
said
hard.
that, you know, I was doing better than you were, you said at the beginning of when I was playing Bloodborne. But I'm still not even to the first boss. Like, and I feel like I put it down because I was like, I keep doing the same fucking spot 40 times before I move on. And I think that it's super rewarding once you get past it, but it's also easy to get burnt out. That I think some people just put down the game and say, fuck it. So, and my rant, go ahead and Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I mean, I feel like Steve says it's just gonna say get good.
No, that's not what I was gonna say at all. Do you got some?
Well, just something to tack on.
Because I have a lot, but
I've been playing Skyward Sword, and I got to the second time that you fight, like Ganon's like fucking page, like Girahim or something. I can't remember his name. He's like this like really flamboyant like white haired guy. And
Sephiroth.
no, it starts with a G. It's like Girahim. I think.
I was talking about a Final Fantasy guy.
Oh, okay. Well, they probably look similar, but dude, and I've been using button controls, and it's extremely difficult to beat this boss with button controls, and so I had to pick up motion controls and like learn them for the fight. And I tried it like 10 or 15 times, and like I gave up, and because I was like, this is too difficult, and I had searched the options for like easy, and I couldn't do it. Luckily, I came back a few days later and was like, let me try again with a fresh mind. And I the thing was I wasn't preparing for the fight. You can go and get potions. You can go and get good shields. You can go and upgrade your shit. And I was just going in with like a sword and like a battered shield. And I got 2 health potions, and I was like, I beat it the first try. But like, it was difficult. And I agree with what she's saying. Like, I do feel like a lot of games that I play, I like playing them, but like I'm not that good at them, and I find them to be very difficult. And so this would be nice, but I don't know. A part of me thinks it takes away from the artistic input of the developer, especially like Last of Us. I feel like
That had a story mode.
Oh, so it had level like
there's difficulty.
Easy
Okay.
mode.
I
for
just
that.
I feel like it possibly hinders the how the developer wants you to play.
Well,
that's the only thing I think.
I think that that's true, and I agree with that because I mean, but the thing that kind of makes me sad a little bit is that there's times where I'll recommend a game to Danielle, and she'll get, a little bit into it and be like, I don't like this. It's too hard. And I mean, she started playing Fallen Order, the Jedi, Star Wars Fallen Order, whatever it's called. And she told me last night, she was like, I like it. And she's playing it on story mode. And I think that makes it more enjoyable for her because I'm not saying that she can't do a hard game. She beat Breath of the Wild twice, right? Like, that is a pretty hard game. And she, powered through that. But I don't always want to power through games, right? Like, I did Breath of the Wild, which is not an easy game, but it's not hard. And then I get stuck at Dark Souls and Bloodborne, right? Like, because those are difficult games that, like,
They're meant to be hard, yeah.
I have no way to, like, train myself to become better other than just dying a fucking 1,000 times, which, you died in my face every single time I die. It's like,
It's Dark Souls 2, the first achievement I got was Welcome to Dark Souls when I died.
Yeah, I mean, that exactly. Like, they throw it in your face, and I think that is a subgenre, but also, like, if you were to tell someone who just got a PlayStation 4, go play Bloodborne, they're probably going to turn around and be like, why'd you make me spend $40 on that? Like, this is my first console. 60, whatever. My first console, dude. Like, this game sucks. Is how they're going to react to that because they have never had that experience before with a tough game.
So, I
I
just got to say, like, I want to hear what y'all thought because I got a lot. I could probably talk about this a lot, so I'm going to try not to ramble. But the first thing I want to say is that to bring it back to the TikTok, she's not the first person to ever say that. I'm surprised she got beat so hard. This became specifically a huge thing recently when Sekiro came out the other year, and people were like, Sekiro needs an easy mode because it's a cool game made by the Dark Souls people, but it's like,
Yeah.
It has more of a story even than Dark Souls, so like, I mean, there's more of a narrative.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Souls is really just reading lore.
Yeah, I mean, there's
story.
like cutscenes and like a little bit of stuff you'll get, but there's hardly dialogue other than NPCs like being depressed and stuff like that. So, but it's a conversation to be had, and I'm torn about it because Mason's point was exactly what I think, that games like Dark Souls, I don't think would, number one, be as popular as they are if they just had an easy mode that made it simple to get through. I mean, it is kind of the gatekeepy get good bullshit, but it is also you, like you said, feel accomplished when you get through it, and it's created a community of people that are like, no one played it and did a no-hit run on their first try, obviously, right? Like, you can't even, because you don't know all the mechanics and the characters that you have to fight and stuff. But regardless, it's supposed to be hard, and I think that it sets a tone in a game like Dark Souls, where the whole thing is about struggling, and you are trying to overcome ridiculous odds. I mean, you're literally going and like fighting what are essentially gods in the game, you know, as like just some undead fucking person in the first Dark Souls. So I get that, and I like that a lot. There are games, like as a kid, I always wanted to love Mega Man, and I sucked. They're so hard. You know, I mean, I know you love Mega Man Zero. How hard were those games?
Dude, they're impossible games, man.
It's stuff like that where, as a kid, 100%, I would have loved to have an easy mode. But, you know, there's...
But also think about a kid and a new gamer. They're like on the same par.
No, I know that.
Right.
And but I'm just saying, as we've played games our whole life, so that's just my context. But, and also to your point, somebody like Danielle or even some of my other friends, and even myself sometimes when I play a game and I'm like, I don't want to be losing. But I think a big problem is that a lot of games have the problem with difficulty setting just easy, medium, hard, very hard, whatever, where what do they normally do to make an action game or an RPG more difficult?
It's just more, you take less damage and the enemies take more damage.
And it just makes me feel like pretty soft for choosing that option, because I'm like, you know, I'll normally do normal, but when I'm just saying,
so soft.
I'm just saying when what they tell you is that, oh, it's just easier because you do more damage or you take less damage. Like, I'm like, well, that's not really fun. But games where what they do in hard mode is, well, the enemies are just more aggressive. They have, you know, more difficult attack patterns or things like that, where you're like, well, maybe I don't want to deal with that. Or maybe when I turn it down a little bit, if I went to the hard mode, I don't feel like I'm just going God mode and it's going to take them forever to kill me, so it's easier. It's that, like, well, if I turn their aggression down, that makes it feel a little bit like I'm not choosing easy mode. I just want them to chill a little bit. I think games are getting to a point where we are seeing more of that. I also really enjoy, like with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, they show you exactly what the difficulties change, and they're not just enemy damage just goes down. Like there are things like I think it's like the parry timing and things like that show you how it's changing. Ratchet and Clank is the same way, where if you go from normal to the like medium or whatever it is, the enemy health and damage go up a little bit, but it's the aggression that really jumps up.
I mean, I think if developers did a little bit more of that, where it's not just you take less and they take more. Like Doom is
just
very
the
much
way
that.
to code it.
I mean, Doom is very much that, right? Like I play on Hurt Me Plenty or whatever it was, which is like their normal mode. But you know, that game is so fast paced, and like I do think that in that scenario, you taking less damage and them taking more damage kind of works, because it is such a quick game. But I mean, even Hurt Me Plenty, I was like fucking dying left and right. Like I'm not good at Doom, and I don't ever think I will be, but it is like such a fun game to me that like I'm willing to die, where like, and I feel like I'm progressing whereas Dark Souls, like 40 fucking times I'll have to die to get past like 4 enemies, dude, like 4 regular dudes.
And again, I understand, and I don't, like, again, that's not for everybody, and I think sometimes maybe there shouldn't be games that are just for everyone. They're missing out on an audience, but sometimes I think they would even get more of a following by catering to a smaller, like, niche group, right?
Right,
But,
and you're right about that. And I didn't even think about that fact. Like, it is maybe not. It almost feels just like an inclusive, like, this is for us type thing.
Yeah.
Right? Which, and I think some people may feel left out of. Like, I want to like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and it's not that I don't like them, but I just feel like I'd rather play something where I'm not going to die every fucking 10 minutes.
I will say a couple things about that.
I agree.
Specifically, I think now trying to get into them, I don't know if I would like them as much as I do, but when I got them, I didn't have a bunch of money like I do now to buy
Yeah.
whatever games I want. Not that I'm fucking loaded, but I can buy a game, and if I suck at it and don't want to play, just like you are like, do I want to keep playing? You bought Bloodborne. I mean, you'll go back to it, but if you never beat it, you're not going to be mad. When I got Bloodborne, that was one of like 2 games I had on the PlayStation 4. I was in college. It was summer. I was working like part-time or whatever. And like I said, I spent 4 hours that night dying and not getting to a boss. And I restarted the game because I was mad. And I was like, I did something wrong. I need to pick a different weapon to start with and whatever. And I ended up like getting to the boss and beating him. And then it was an optional boss and I was at a dead end. And I was like, I'm going the fuck to sleep because goddamn. But, there's stuff like that I understand is frustrating. But I think to some degree, they need to not make it just normal, easy, hard. There are some things like Hades does a good job where that game is hard. It's a roguelike where, permadeath, so not everyone's going to be into that in the first place. But once you get through, if you are pretty good at it, getting through on the starting difficulty is not that bad anymore. Yeah, you'll have a bad run. It's a lot of random luck, right? But once you've beaten it, you unlock the ability to add different modifiers to the game that make it harder, and then you get more stuff again.
Yeah.
So you can bring it up to like a ridiculous level, but if you don't want to add the thing that makes you take more damage, but you want to make it enemies have more health because you're like, all right, well, I do get hit a good amount, but I'm really good at, getting in there and dishing out a lot of damage. You do that just as a simple thing, but there's so many modifiers that you can cater to your own difficulty. And I think that's cool. We're seeing more of that, and we are probably going to be at basically time at this point talking about this. But the last thing I want to say is accessibility, which I know like people talk about and we don't think about as much as not being people that are disabled in any way. But like for disabled gamers, somebody that wants to play Dark Souls and has a slow reaction time, or their hands cramp up when they're in the middle of a boss fight that could take 10 minutes and they just keep dying and they can't play for an hour and die 40 times. Or people that can't see as well, so they're obviously just going to have a difficult time seeing all the enemies, the projectiles and things, and one hit from an arrow from some guy 20 feet away takes you down to 3/4 of your health on the first hit. That's not really going to be a fun time for them because you're just not going to see that little projectile. So
and I do think that is a big thing. And I mean, remember when Xbox did their adaptive controller?
Yes.
They're the only ones that...
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
really have to use the bathroom. You guys can keep talking. I'm
done with you. Oh, man.
No. Keep going.
I'm just
need,
like
a couple
I'm
minutes.
just saying, like, Microsoft is the only one who came out with some sort of product that really like actually tries to address that problem that you're talking about. And I do think that making games hard leaves out a lot of people who are new to gaming, and also people who do have a disability. Like, that is a fucking it's hard, right? Like, because developers and they have a vision of like, this is what I want my game to be. I want it to be hard, but I think it makes it less inclusive, which is what I guess I'm trying to get at. And,
it is.
And it's hard to find a balance between that and...
I mean, I think to a point, I like the idea that it's not like gatekeeping, but I like that there are games like Dark Souls that they don't give you an option.
Yeah.
So you're like, either I'm going to be able to beat this or I'm not. And it plays differently than any other action RPG type thing. So you get used to it. Maybe you get good and you feel like, oh, this is really fun for me now that I know what I'm doing. But
Go ahead.
I think that games like that, even Dark Souls could have this where the joke that I make about any RPG I play, most people I feel like make this joke, so it's not funny, but I don't ever use any item I pick up, like almost ever. Like, it's so hard for me to use consumables. Sometimes I will, like you stock up on some poison.
No, that's, I feel like every game with me, dude. Fucking,
yeah. It's just a natural thing to be like, I need to save this for later, and then you beat Final Fantasy with like 50 elixirs because you're like,
my Phoenix Downs.
Yeah, it's that thing where you try to save them just in case, and I think games could do better with stuff like that, where somebody like me that's like, I don't want to use these items. I make it harder for myself. It's the elective difficulty. They don't put a difficulty mode, but if they did start throwing enough elixirs at you in Dark Souls, some other healing item than the Estus Flask to make you think, okay, well, I don't really have to worry about saving these, right? If there was something like that, because there are items that make you, more powerful for 30 seconds in a fight, but if they had a way to get them very easy and allow people to kind of simplify it for them, and obviously they don't lose out on any of the combat mechanics. It's just maybe you do more damage. That I think would be a little bit better. In Dark Souls, we always go back to as the game that everyone says is hard, but I think every game, there's RPGs
go ahead.
Sorry, Trails of Cold Steel, I know, is one where if you die, like you said in Forza, similarly, if you lose in a battle a couple times, it'll be like, hey, do you want to make it easier just for this battle?
Yeah, I think
that
that's
you
cool.
can get through?
I think that's pretty cool. The thing I will say about hard games is Breath of the Wild is not an easy game, but
I think there are hard parts. Again, hate me, I haven't played it, but
no, it's okay, dude. I get it. I playing another open world game like that is very daunting. But I don't. The only thing I think is once you beat the game, you unlock Master Mode, which is harder, right? But the game, and somebody in the group chat said he didn't like this about this game. But you start off bad, and you progressively get better. You have bad weapons. It's hard to beat regular enemies. You get better weapons. It's easier to beat those enemies.
It doesn't scale.
It doesn't really scale, but in the beginning, it seems really hard. You die quite a lot in the beginning, and towards the end, you're like, okay, here's a fucking Lionel. I can kick his ass. You feel more confident because of the items you've acquired, because of the experience you've gained. I think they did a good job with that because you end up feeling more confident because you did. And maybe it's the same thing with Dark Souls, right? Maybe that's exactly how I should be playing Dark Souls. It's yes, I suck. I'm at the beginning, but everyone says it's hard the entire time.
It
right?
scales very well with your... I mean, yeah, I think part of that is definitely the way that Breath of the Wild is designed. It's open world, so you're supposed to be able to go wherever you want, and it's not going to be... I mean, yeah, there might be areas that are going to be a little bit more challenging if you run right there, the example I know, you're not going to
run right to Ganon.
Yeah, and have a good time unless you know what you're doing. But I do think that it is hard to sit there and be like, okay, well, we want an open world game to be as challenging the whole way through, because how do you do that when you could go in any direction? Whereas Dark Souls, they scale it well, where they only let you upgrade your weapon a certain amount until you progress. Yeah, you can upgrade your stats, but you're not going to find the better upgrade materials until you get to the new area. So it is hard, but it
is definitely apples to oranges with those two games. But I guess that's what I'm trying to say is that one makes you feel confident and one just beats the shit out of you the whole time, right? So,
but I will say, every time I've played a Souls or Bloodborne, once I beat it, I run back through again on New Game Plus or whatever, and I mean, you've got your better weapons. It's harder. New Game Plus in those games make it more challenging, so you're not starting the game over with maxed out stuff. But it feels really good when you go through again and you've got all this better stuff and you know what you're doing. And I like things not that I want to replay many games nowadays with the amount of games I should be playing, but Dark Souls 2, their New Game Plus changed enemy locations and patterns and things like that. They would add in new enemies, or you go to fight a boss and there's another enemy that comes in during the boss fight, which makes it harder.
Yeah.
Things like that, I think, not for New Game Plus, because not everyone wants to play a game twice, but for difficulty levels, I think those kind of introductions would be a lot better than just making it more damage.
Do you guys remember a long time ago? No, it wasn't a long time ago. There was some photo going around of these difficulty levels of some game, and they were really toxic. It was like you're a crazy motherfucker, and it was like, oh, you're a pussy. Do you remember this?
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I know, was it like real? Because I know like Wolfenstein, I think had the
Maybe
easy
it
mode was like
was.
baby mode or something
Yeah,
like that. And
it was just like, it was just. I just remember it was like a tweet or Reddit or something. It was like, can like the difficulty settings like chill the fuck out? Like it's like, because it was just these like really over the top names.
yeah, I mean that kind of thing I think is not great. Because again, I was kind of
Because
joking,
you said
but
like I
yeah.
feel kind of soft for.
I mean, I don't.
going on
I'm
the
not
easy
saying
mode.
there's any problem
Like,
with playing easy mode. I
you
just
know,
think when I
You shouldn't
see
feel.
that,
You shouldn't have to.
I know,
feel bad.
and that's what I'm saying is I think when I see the easy mode and it's like, oh, again, the simple thing is you just take less damage. I'm like, that just seems kind of stupid because I'll just take the damage and get through it. But, and I know that's not everyone thinks, but to me, it immediately in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to just pick that. And a big problem too with games is a lot of them, you can't change difficulty on the fly. And especially back in the day when I cared about like Xbox achievements,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you have to beat it on hard mode and you can't change the difficulty at any point or you miss out on that achievement. And, just because one area is hard or whatever and I want to make it easier, I lose out on the achievement. I'd rather not beat the game.
And I do think that sometimes with those type of difficulty settings that you do, like she said, lose out on learning the story of the game. Like, I don't want to fucking just read a synopsis of the fucking storyline of a video game, right? Like, I want to play it and feel like I'm a part of the game to learn the story instead of just like,
Yeah, it's
let
the
me
point.
beat it as fucking in the hardest difficulty so I can get that achievement and just completely fucking discard the entire story. Like, that's also something the developers put a lot of time into. So, I don't know. I mean, I didn't mean to fucking like...
No,
I wanted to say one other thing about
I think this is a good topic. I'm sorry to...
No, it's a good topic. It's like perfect gaming discussion. When I think about difficulty, I think about how now there's been a big, I think, evolution of difficulty in games, and I think we've talked about this before, but in the early days of video games, when you think about like Atari and you think about arcade cabinets and whatever it is, name your old console, being difficult was a part of a way to get your quarters.
And yeah, no, that was 100% arcade games were made to be hard. And even home console games kept that difficulty because even though they weren't getting your quarters, it was to extend playtime.
And it was a perception of quality.
Yeah.
Like when there's a thing in audio when if the song is played louder than another song, people will inherently think it's better because the volume is louder. And I think it's the same with video games. Or at least it was the thought process then was the harder it is, the more time you're going to put into it, and you're going to say, oh, it's better because I played it longer. And then I think when the home console got really popular in the 80s and 90s, it was less about, well, we're not trying to get their quarters, we're trying to get them to buy the game, period. And I don't know if you saw that Donkey video the other day about game prices. I think it was yesterday.
That one was pretty interesting.
It was like
$120.
old NES games for like $100 in today's
Yeah, no, it's insane.
inflation. And so it's like, if you think about it that way, like you have to make a good game. You don't want to get people's quarters.
Yeah.
You want to
And you had to
have
fill
them,
it into like fucking like 64
yeah,
kilobytes.
like these, and yeah, it looked like shit. And
I mean,
and I think the 90s and the early 2000s definitely started because home consoles became so popular. They stopped thinking like more like like getting quarters, but more like, okay, we know that people are going to buy the games, and now we know that there's a market for easy and there's a market for difficulty and like experienced gamers.
It was 31 kilobytes with Super Mario Bros. The original. Yeah. Insane to me, dude. We spend fucking an entire day downloading a 100 gig fucking game.
You could fit like the whole NES library in like a couple gigs.
1 gig.
So, I think now that there's such a wide variety of video games, and the choice is seemingly endless.
237 megabytes to put the entire NES library. SNES is 1.7 gigs, N64 is 5.5 gigs.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. But
Game Boy and Game Boy Color was 568.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Again, I think
Megabytes, sorry.
part of it, yeah. I mean, extending playtime and also was like a lot of decisions on difficulty for the space that they had. I feel like they were trying to be more creative, and it pushed them to do a lot more with the minimal memory that they could, create for a game.
Using
So,
textures and stuff like that.
but I think the difficulty came from that, where they couldn't make 100 levels or whatever. And game development used to be a lot shorter time cycles too. So I don't know. At a certain point, I think in my life, I feel like there was a phase where every single game had like an easy mode, right? And now you're seeing more where a lot of games do, like action games and stuff for sure tend to still, but like I think they're getting to a point where it's not just easy, normal, hard, and it's not just damage and things like that. It's they're finding creative ways, and that's what I appreciate, and I think more people will, because again, a new gamer or a kid or whatever trying to get through something might sit down and decide that I want to play this game, but maybe I want a ridiculous amount of health, but the enemies still are, hard to kill too, or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like at this point I've said the same thing like 10 times.
No,
but
sorry, I
it's-
mean-
no, it's a great clip.
I
It's
mean,
like a
again,
half-hour
I didn't
clip.
mean to fucking, yeah. You should
You're gonna have
I
to
don't
find
care.
new clips
clip that.
in the clip.
It's gonna get clipped. I bought a Switch Lite. I brought it in here
You
just
did
to
want
show.
to talk about that?
We talked about it 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to.
And I found an offer up for $100.
It looks like it's in pristine condition.
There's
man.
like one little nick on the side, but
but that's gonna happen in your lifetime too.
yeah.
The
but
thing is that I like about it is that it does have the skin on it, and it
That's
does
the
have a
skin.
screen protector on
I thought this was a stylus Switch, and honestly, if you still told me this wasn't a skin,
it is applied perfectly.
Yeah.
incredibly.
Like the dad or whoever put that on did not fuck that up.
Yeah, dude, it's
At all.
incredible. It's like all the lines.
The only thing you can see is where the screws are, but that almost looks natural. Like where the screw is on the back, it's slightly off. No, on the corners.
Oh, wait,
Where the
you-
skin
oh,
goes?
yeah. But
It's-
that's
It almost looks natural.
yeah. No, I'm really impressed. It's like a nice vinyl.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the power up.
but what I've noticed about it, I played it for a couple hours today. I got it in the mail. It makes the Switch screen feel bigger.
Yeah, though, I mean,
Yeah.
Have you guys played it?
Yeah, I've played on
Lena
Lena's,
has a
yeah.
light. Okay, it makes it feel like it's bigger because there's less margin, like
Yeah,
border.
Bezel.
What's it called?
bezel.
Bezel.
Is this not a slightly smaller screen?
it is.
It is,
Yeah.
but the bezel's smaller and your fingers are closer.
It does feel like when you're gripping it that the screen is more.
I think it's
pronounced.
just because it's a smaller.
It has a nice grip
system.
to it.
Yeah, no, it's a
Honestly,
super comfort. It's super light. It's super
It's got
comfortable.
that D-pad.
The D-pad is fucking clutch.
Yes, which I completely.
I
forgot
love
about.
I love Nintendo for their cool design on the Joy-Cons, but like, give me one that isn't the damn hoary
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
D-pad controller. I want
I wish they would release an official fucking. I would buy that in a heartbeat. With
the hoary
D-pad.
one's fine, but like,
It's not wireless though,
yeah,
and
that's
that
what I'm
makes
saying.
it fucking shitty.
I mean, I know I got
it
a
just has such a good hand feel.
I got a pro controller, so I don't really need it, but
Yeah,
They did a great job applying the skin. And I would be careful if you ever want to remove it because supposedly
it can,
Power Up fixed the problem, but D-Brand would not release a Switch skin because it was peeling the paint off.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
I'm not super. I'm very happy with this look, and so
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna keep it.
Huge
I really,
Animal Crossing.
I really
saying,
don't like
huge
this
Animal
underneath.
Crossing fans.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's just a good look.
Yeah,
I don't really love this underneath color.
the blue.
So I like this a lot more.
The
and the white buttons work so well.
the
with
blue looks
skin.
cool, and the purple one is the best looking one to me.
The new like was it
It's,
purple? The
it's
new one,
called
or
like
is it
light blue, but it looks
the
purple.
purple. I like the coral, like pink.
The pink
too.
one, yeah.
The reason that I
The
got
yellow
it,
one sucks.
The reason I got this exact one was because
It was
of the
$100.
price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was looking on OfferUp. I forget why I downloaded that app. I was thinking I was watching
Probably
a
looking
YouTube
for a
video.
truck or something.
Well, yeah, I think
Were you about to offer up your car?
no. Well, okay, it's fun. It's actually kind of a roundabout way. I was watching this DIY guy on YouTube. This guy named Buddy DIY. He does he like flips cars and he shows you the whole process. And he was like, sometimes I look at cars on OfferUp and just like, I already had the app actually. So I was like, oh, let me look at it. There was nothing on there for cars that I liked.
You were like, yo, a Switch Lite.
But
though?
there are people that go on there and sell things because they need money at discounted prices. It's not always a great discount, but sometimes you get really lucky. Now, I could talk about this for a long, long time. So I'll save like the juicy bit of OfferUp. All I'll say is the scammers on there, like there's a fuck ton of scammers.
I believe it.
I had to look through hundreds of listings to find a real Switch listing. They were all like,
just
I
the
shouldn't
box.
even say this because I want to go in depth about it, but like it would say, and they were all copy pasted too. They would have these really realistic photos that are like, it's like this on it looks like somebody took them with their iPhone. And you're like, okay, that looks legit because it looks shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about when you see
Yeah,
an eBay
because sometimes
listing?
you see eBay and they like posted a stock
like
photo
out
of
of
a
On their
focus.
fucking bed.
Yeah, or it's like out of
No.
focus and they like do an angle that doesn't even look
I'm saying the
nice.
ones that look like the stock photos I don't trust because I'm like,
Yes.
you don't want to put your picture of your own device on there.
Exactly. And so there's something human about like a bad photo that's like it's like out of focus and the lighting sucks. So they would find these photos of probably from other listings, eBay, wherever it is, Facebook Marketplace. And the things that they would say in the description, that's how you could tell it's a scammer. It would say like, my wife and I just brought a new baby boy into the world. The first person to text me at this number, I will give this Switch for free. And so I'm like, what's the scam? You know what I mean? Because like, at first I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude, I'll do that. But then I was like, wait, that's ridiculous. Why would I have to text this guy? And why would it already be taken off?
Some of that could be to get your phone number.
It's to get your
Yeah.
phone number.
which then they could potentially target you for logging into your bank
Or,
any
just
sort of
scam
two-factor or yeah. So
So
yeah,
they're
that's-
all over OfferUp like that, or it'll be a different scenario where it's like, I got this for a good price, or I got this for free, and I just want to give it away for a good price. Text me at this number, and I'll give it to you for free. Like I shit you not, I probably had to look at 70, 80, 90 listings of all the same things like that until I finally found somebody who was clearly a dad who was selling it for
Chad Dad.
I think he had it for 125, and I said I'll pay 90, and he was like, "Give me 110," and I was like, "I'll give you 100." And he was like, "All right, fuck it."
you had the exact opposite of me on eBay.
And so I got I got it for a great price, and I knew it was legit because all of his other listings were like frozen, like play place, a baby carriage. Like it was
Yeah.
clearly like, this is a dad who's probably got a daughter or a couple daughters, and he's trying to get rid of their shit. And it was legit, and I got it for 50% retail price,
Yeah.
which
It's in
Is the
fucking
only
pristine
reason-
condition for that
Yeah.
price.
I guarantee he bought it for Christmas for one of them, and they never fucking played it. And he was like, "I'm not gonna lose $200 on this."
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I don't know. It is funny because like eBay, I had the exact opposite. I don't know if I told you all the.
You told me.
Yeah, it was like the guy I put an offer as I put an offer at like 1,300.
for the computer.
Yeah, and he ignored my request
Yeah.
completely. Waited till it expired, and then sent me one that was like $40 off. And so I went back to him and I offered 1,450, and he was like, ignored it again, $20 off. And I was like, dude, if I keep playing this fucking game, I'm gonna be paying full price. Like,
So he went up on his.
yeah, he
discount?
like took it back. He was like, all right, I offered you 40, you didn't take it. I'm gonna offer you 20, and you better fucking take it. I'm actually pretty pissed off with him right now because for whatever reason I can't get Windows to activate on that machine. And he was like, oh yeah, I had the same problem. Just run Windows updates. And I've done that. I called Microsoft. They were like, open a ticket with the vendor who built the PC. I opened a ticket with them, and 4 days go by and they haven't responded to me yet. So, yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, I have to spend another $130 for a Windows license, but here we are. The desk
sucks.
does look cool though.
Yes, the desk.
So Danielle and I went to IKEA this weekend. We were afraid it wasn't going to fit in, but we did the whole build your own IKEA Alex desk, and the dressers they look like dressers. They're
Little
like
drawer
little fucking
boys.
drawers. They're called Alex, and then I bought this board, 3 of them, and kind of jerry rigged them together with some legs and some flat pieces of metal and screws to hold them all together. And we will put a picture up on the screen.
Are you good, dude?
We'll put a picture up. Dude, I feel like I'm just like fucking got a burp stuck in my
Dude,
body.
he's
all the-
burped up.
the
What are we putting on screen?
A picture of the desk.
Oh yeah.
I'll send a
No,
picture.
it's
to
cool because I see a lot of that stuff online where people are like, "Don't buy a desk from IKEA. Get
Put it here.
like you did and get the drawers and the boards." And
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it was honestly.
did you read that online or were you
No,
just smart
so
about
I
it?
saw someone post about it on YouTube, and then I started looking at all these people who had done different things with those 3 items off of out of IKEA. And I mean, there's some really cool stuff that people have done with it. And so I was like, let's just try and do that. And unfortunately, they were sold out of all the white and black Alex drawers. So we went with this like
it still looks good.
it's a bluish gray and then a gray top. The top is absolutely gray. The drawers look kind of blue, but it kind of matches the room anyway. So anyway, it was a really fun project. I mean, it took us fucking 5 hours to build. And
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's sick. They got a desk set up for Sean, his lady, and his daughter.
Me.
yeah. And Mason can
And
join in there.
Mason, and, not me. My computer won't fit. But it's literally back to back with the couch, and it's as big as the couch.
It's
like
it's
the desk. I don't know if you saw
I
in
saw
the
the
picture,
photo. It's
but it's
okay.
the same length as the couch, and then it extends probably about the same length as the other side of the couch.
The whole
Dude, it's a gamer cleaner
Bro,
gingert.
I'm hanging out in my room playing games, and then I come out, and then they're like out here like squatting it up playing games, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up, gamers?"
Dude, I'm telling you that the gaming channel is gonna happen. Now, I need to talk to you guys about it. Do you want to talk about it on here?
Let's just go. How many more minutes we got? I feel like
We're
we're, out of time,
we're like
but-
at an hour 10. Essentially, here's what I'm thinking. I don't care if they hear this. Very few
Care-
people make it this far in the video anyway. If we're gonna do it, I one of you guys has to edit it, and I know that's not what you want to hear.
It doesn't matter to me, dude. But I just don't have any software to do it.
Now,
I'm
here's
sure I
the
could-
thing: DaVinci Resolve. You ever heard of it?
Yes.
It's free. It's free, and the good things about it are free. I talked about this on All Staff the other day. All we have to do is we need to get headsets with microphones. 2 microphones.
Yeah, I already got one. You got to test out if mine's good enough for you.
I've done a lot of research on good.
I understand
headsets.
they're all trash.
There's one by Audio Technica. It's called the ATH G1. It's a little pricey. It's like $170, but it's a really nice mic. There's another one called like
Are they USB?
they're actually like 3.5.
So we have a small problem with
So
that.
you don't have 3.5?
No, I have plenty of them. The problem is, for whatever reason, and maybe I can figure out a workaround for this, but when you plug one in to the PC, it's like, at least on my motherboard, I have to try this on Danielle's. It's like, is this an input or an output? And you can't make them the same. Yeah. So we could potentially test it with a splitter. Sometimes you can just, a Y-shaped splitter, plug one in and say, this is the microphone, plug one in and this is the speaker. But for whatever reason, I can't plug my JBL wired headset into one port and have it act as both.
Well, we can figure that out.
I got Logitech wireless headset. I'd be happy to buy a new one, but this one was like, I was looking, I did some research, and I bought it when I got my computer, so I wasn't trying to, break the bank even more. It was like $100. It's not bad, but if we need to buy whatever, I'm down. I'll get a couple like fucking Yeti mics. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so that's why I want to talk to you guys about this, because DaVinci Resolve, if we can use what's called the multicam feature on DaVinci Resolve, all we have to do is bring in one file from each person. And so I'm going to do some research, but I'm pretty sure with OBS, which is essentially streaming software,
Yep.
you can have your game, and you can set up where you want your video stream and your audio, and it can output one file per person. The multicam is so simple. It's you select the 3 clips, it will sync the audio for you, and you can click 1, 2, and 3 to switch cameras. So we'll talk about that more if we decide to do it. But
yeah, I mean,
the only other thing is webcams, and there's really good ones that look really fucking good, and they're expensive, and there's like not that great looking ones that are not that expensive.
So the Logitech one I have was probably 130.
Is it the Logitech
bucks?
like
970 or Logitech?
I looked at one. It was like the Logitech like
920
Brio or something.
All I'm saying is we gotta have a meeting outside of this about how I'd be happy to help, but I cannot be editing a video probably every week because
I
know we talked about it.
This
not
is
being
what I'm
every
saying.
Week, but
what my thought process is if we sit down and we play, and this is not a channel that's like we have a strict
Every
schedule. It's like we sit down.
Debuff plays,
Debuff gaming, whatever it is.
I think part of the problem is going to be able to find the shit in the first place.
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't even think about that. We play. Let's say we play Fall Guys for an hour together. I don't even know if we could play together, but just for the sake of argument, play for 1 hour. And Sean takes the footage, and he does the multicam thing, and he edits the 60-minute thing, and then we just literally cut it into 10-minute videos. We have 6 videos after playing for an hour, and we put like 1 out every week, or like 1 whenever we feel like it.
I see. Well, I feel like we get into. We'll see how it goes, but 10 minutes of. I have to see how it breaks up, right?
If he cut a 60-minute file, exported it, and sent it to me, I would turn it into 10 YouTube videos. The problem is right now I'm doing fucking
I know you're
all
swamped.
this, all of all
dude,
stuff.
yeah.
I wasn't trying to put anything else on your plate.
No. But that's the caveat. Like if we want to do it, I want to fucking do it. But like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know you don't.
I don't know
have
if I
time.
can edit.
I'm willing to learn
videos.
DaVinci. I mean, it's another skill to keep in my pocket.
It is so easy. I watched a video about it. DaVinci Resolve is like the open source video editor right now. Like there's a paid version, but that's for colorists. This is like the shit, and it's on Windows.
I think I have the Logitech C920, which is a 1080p webcam. I think I paid $80 for it. And it does have a mic, and we're not obviously going to use that, but it is a mic and webcam, and it is honestly pretty decent for a $80 webcam. So
I saw something about it was a $27 Ooooo AUKEY webcam.
Yeah, about some
the Elgato just released one too, but that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's like $200. Ooooo.
That's a 4K webcam too.
Yeah. So this is 1080. It's $50 on their website, but I think it was $27 on Amazon.
Yeah.
I watched a video about it, and the guy was like, "This shit looks so good." It was this video. $27.
Maybe we
Ooooo
go with that
webcam.
one instead. I mean, it's a lot.
But
cheaper.
that's what I'm saying. Like, just to give him one and give me one. Do you have a webcam?
No. Are
Okay.
you joking?
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like because it's gonna be this fucking big. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did a lot of research today. I just wanted to bring that up. We're at 113.
Let's get the fuck out of here, dude.
yeah.
I'm sick of this shit.
All right. Thanks for listening to our
All
rant
right.
about difficulty. Hopefully you appreciated some of our
Yeah, the
points.
whole
Maybe we'll
episode.
have some gaming stuff come up. Thanks. Bye.
All right.
All
Bye.
right, later.
Debuff is hosted by me, Steve Skeels, edited and mixed by Mason Carlton. Follow us on Instagram at DebuffPod. That's Debuff, P-O-D. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.